Dear students, how are you all? Dear students, today we are going to start with a new lesson, that is the natural disasters. Disasters that occur due to nature, like cyclones, earthquake, it is a fire outbreak, it can be the tsunamis. So we are going to discuss about these natural disasters in detail. Now, dear students, let's talk about a second natural calamity, and that is a flood. You know what is a flood? A flood is water all around. A flood is an overflow of an expanse of water. Flooding may result from the volume of water within a body of water, such as a river, increases. When the volume of water within a water body, like a river, increases, it leads to water all around, and it leads to a flood-like situation. Dear students, flooding is unusual presence of water on land to a depth which affects the normal activities. Flooding can arise from overflowing rivers, heavy rainfall after a short duration. There might not be a proper drainage system जिसके कारण से water properly drain नहीं होता और flood-like situations हो जाती हैं. A flood can also occur due to an unusual flow of seawater onto the land. Flood can also be caused by storms such as hurricanes, high tides, seismic events, landslides, tsunamis. Dear students, do remember, flood events can be the major natural disasters for most cities and towns located at the coast or next to the rivers, causing loss of life and damage to property and land. Like any other natural calamity, flood also causes a loss to life as well as the damage to our property and land. You should remember one thing, why I'm saying it's located the floods occur mainly जहाँ पर बहुत ज़्यादा excessive rainfall होती है या mainly जो cities हैं वो rivers के next हैं. Like if I talk about Bihar, Kosi river flows. So Kosi river is known as a sorrow of Bihar because every year due to the overflow of water in Kosi river, we have the flood-like situation in Bihar. Students, when a large area of land may be submerged underwater due to heavy rainfall and overflowing rivers, this causes a flood. They may also occur due to the melting of glaciers. आप लोगों को पता है अब तो ओजोन लेयर डिप्लीशन है. ओजोन लेयर डिप्लीशन के कारण से जब यहाँ पर हीट बेसिकली बहुत ज़्यादा हो जाती है तो जो हमारे ग्लेशियर्स है बच्चे, दे हैव स्टार्टेड मेल्टिंग, एंड ड्यू टू द मेल्टिंग ऑफ दीज ग्लेशियर्स वो वाटर रिवर्स के अंदर आ जाता है. सो उसके कारण से देयर इज अ क्वाइट अ लॉट ओवरफ्लो ऑफ दीज रिवर्स. सो दिस कॉजेज फ्लड. People living in a low-lying areas, especially near a water body, are at a greater risk of the floods. Always remember, जितना भी ये coast line area होता है बच्चे, उसके आसपास जितनी भी cities होती हैं, वो generally वहाँ पर flood की situations का risk बहुत ज़्यादा है. When the flood water stagnate in an area, there may be an outbreak of diseases. बच्चे जब ये flood waters इस एक area से निकलते नहीं हैं, वो water stagnant हो जाता है, मतलब खड़ा रह जाता है. उसके अंदर it is a breeding house of diseases. There may be the spread quickly and this may lead to even the epidemics. बच्चे यहाँ पर diseases बहुत quickly spread होती हैं and it can even lead to many epidemics. In July 2016, heavy rains led to the floods in Assam. More than 1.8 million people were affected. Heavy rainfall also affected the wildlife in the Kaziranga National Park. So it is to be kept in your mind that एक rainfall के कारण से, see, there is not only a loss to the property, but even loss to the humans and even the loss to the animals, right? Dear students, let's see what are the causes of floods. Some of our major causes are heavy rainfall. जब बहुत ज़्यादा heavy rainfall होती है, it causes the floods. Heavy siltation of a river bed reduces the water carrying capacity of the rivers. बच्चे जब बहुत ज़्यादा सिल्ट रिवर के नीचे कलेक्ट हो जाती है जिससे कि रिवर की जो डेप्थ होती है वो कम हो जाती है, ऑटोमेटिकली ड्यू टू दैट सिल्ट डिपॉजिट बच्चे जो वाटर कैरिंग कैपेसिटी है एक रिवर की या स्ट्रीम की वो लेस रह जाती है. सो ऑटोमेटिकली इट लीड्स टू द फ्लड लाइक सिचुएशन, क्योंकि पीछे से तो वाटर उतना ही ज़्यादा आ रहा है लेकिन अब वाटर की डेप्थ इतनी नहीं है. सो ऑटोमेटिकली वो वाटर कहाँ फ्लो करेगा, बाहर ही तो फ्लो करेगा. It can be even due to the blockage in the drains that leads to the flooding of an area. See, at times we see ना हमारे कोई ड्रेनेज सिस्टम प्रॉपर नहीं है. अगर ड्रेनेज सिस्टम प्रॉपर नहीं होता बच्चे तो वो वाटर कहाँ जाएगा, जो ड्रेन्स का वाटर है इट वुड बी देयर ऑन द रोड्स एंड ऑल, लीडिंग टू अ फ्लड लाइक सिचुएशन. इवन द लैंडस्लाइड्स blocks the flow of the stream. Even the construction of dams and reservoirs also lead to the flood-like situation. But in areas prone to cyclone, strong winds accompanying with the heavy downpour along with the strong storm surge leads to flooding. जिन एरियाज में सुनामी बहुत कॉमन है, साइक्लोन्स बहुत कॉमन है, स्ट्रॉन्ग विंड्स बहुत कॉमन है, रेनफॉल बहुत ज़्यादा होता है, तो वहाँ पे फ्लड लाइक सिचुएशन बहुत ज़्यादा होती है. इज दैट क्लियर? So dear students, let's see what are the effects of flood. There can be the economic, environmental and even the effect on the people. But let's see the economic. During the floods, especially the flash floods, roads, bridges, dams, houses, automobiles are destroyed. People become homeless at times. Let's see the environmental damage. Environment also suffers when the floods happen. Chemicals and other hazardous substances end up in water and eventually contaminate the water bodies that floods end up in. बच्चे what happens जब हमारी जो environment है वो भी बहुत ज़्यादा सफ़र करता है, जो chemicals वगैरह होते हैं from all around, from the factories, from the storage places, they tend to float in water, they mix in water, जिसके कारण से water bodies contaminated हो जाती हैं. Let's see about the people. It is even harmful for the people. बच्चे कई लोग तो survive नहीं कर पाते, even animals भी survive नहीं कर पाते हैं. Is that clear? So बच्चे many of the people are injured and even they are homeless. Water supply, electricity, everything is disrupted due to the flood. Dear students, now we would be seeing how can we be ready for the floods. What we should do during a flood, what we should do after a flood. Let's see. If we recognize the flood risk, identify the flood prone or the landslide prone areas near you. And if you have seen, we have to vacate that area. You don't have to take the route on the roads to that area जहाँ पर flood like situation है. Remember dear students, that when the power lines are down in the water of your home, before you evacuate your home, you should turn off the gas, power and water. You should even gather some emergency supplies and follow the local radio or the TV for updates. Do not drive or walk across the flooded roads. Cars and people can be swept away by the rush of the water. Unplug all the appliances unless you can get some electric shock. So, bache, let's see now after the flood. After the flood, it is all about hygiene. We have to keep ourselves safe. Is that clear? Use the fans, air conditioning units and dehumidifiers for drying everything. We have to dry everything. We have to clean up. Wear the rubber boots and the plastic gloves to clean everything. Clean the walls, hard floors and other surfaces with soap and water. Use a mixture of 1 cup bleach and 1 gallon water to disinfect, because disinfectation is really very important. You should also wash your hands with soap and water to prevent away the germs. Listen for information from your local officials on how to safely use the water to drink, cook or clean. So these are the things that we should follow, particularly after the outbreak of the flood. Dear students, let's see what measures we should adopt for safety. Whenever there is a flood-like situation, We should climb to a higher ground in a flood-like situation. हमें थोड़ा ऊपर की तरफ चले जाना चाहिए, not in a low-lying area. If the level of water rises in our house, then we should go to the higher floor or the terrace. We should turn off all the electrical appliances and even the gas oven. We should listen to the news reports for the flood updates and the instructions. हमें time to time news reports देखते रहनी चाहिए, flood की updates देखते रहनी चाहिए. Even in a flood-prone area, the channels should be created and maintained in the working condition all the time so that excess water can be drained off. मतलब हमारे को अपनी drainage system को भी proper रखना है ताकि जो भी excess water आए it can be moved out. So these are the safety measures that we should adopt. So dear students, let's see what are the damages due to the flood. See, you can witness a house that has been broken off due to the flood situation. There is a total debris in a house. See the condition of the farm. The farm or the agriculture is highly affected. See the condition of the roads. So do remember, flood is a complete loss to the life, to the property, to humans, to animals. Economic loss is also there. So dear students, you should always follow these flood safety tips. You should always keep calm. You should shut down your electricity. You should be tuned in to the news. You should ensure someone always knows where you are, like your relatives. आपके relatives को आपकी information होनी चाहिए. Now, So dear students, you should always make it sure that someone is always knowing that where you are. Your relatives should have the information. And if you have some things with which you can prepare the floating devices, you should be doing that. You should avoid the contact with the flood water if it is possible. And even if it is possible, you should try to evacuate to the safer places. So this way, we can keep ourselves safe. Thank you.